Girl Scouts. How are you? It's so great to see you. And welcome to another Inspiring Futures. I recognize some of your names that have popped up into the participants for this Zoom meeting. So I just want to introduce you to the Inspiring Futures. And we have a quick video that the CEO of Girl Scouts filmed with some Girl Scouts in the Girl Scouts of Colorado's new Dream Lab. So let's just watch this little show.
Hi Girl Scouts! We're here at the Girl Scout Dream Lab with Angela Bio.
Angela is the CEO of College Invest.
I've participated in a lot of the Inspiring Futures programs, but my favorite was the one with people from SeaWorld because I would like to work with animals someday. Lily, what's been your favorite?
My favorite Inspiring Futures video is Home Back and Balloon, and I like pictures for the circus because I always want to know how the lights work or what moves them. Angela, you are Ari. What future career inspired you?
That's a great question, Lily. When I was a young girl, I dreamed of working at the Denver Zoo, and I actually got to do that when I turned 30. But what's most important at your age is to be able to see that anything is possible. And with Inspiring Futures, presented by College Invest, you get to meet some amazing women. Women are doing things like working with animals, racing cars, catching criminals, helping those in need, and so much more. And did you know that you can do the Future Me Patch program at home with your caregiver? And it's a fun way to take a deeper dive on what your future may look like. And not only is this patch glow in the dark, but we'll also give you $100 in your College Invest account to help make your dreams a reality.
Let's be inspired!
Great. So Girl Scouts, just a little bit more about College Invest. So they're Colorado's college savings program, and it makes it easy to save for your education after high school. So they exist for one reason, and it's to help you and your families put away money for your own inspired future. So it's sort of like a piggy bank where but it's even better actually because your money grows, where in a piggy bank it just stays there. So any money that goes into your College Invest savings program will, like grandparents or birthday money or things like that, it will grow because it grows tax-free over years and years and years. And then when it comes time to pay for your college or an apprenticeship program or trade school across the country, you'll be able to use that money and not have paid taxes on it. So it's a pretty neat experience to have that for your future college or whatever you decide to do after high school. Oh, okay, some housekeeping items before we get started. So we are recording this session so that Girl Scouts who weren't able to attend tonight would be able to watch it on our Inspiring Futures YouTube channel. So we would love to see your faces and have you interact, but if you'd like to keep your camera off, that's fine. We would love for you to use the chat function. And just to follow some sort of etiquette of virtual programming, if you want to put your Zoom hand up if you've got questions, I'll make sure I keep track of that and have Vanessa answer some of your questions. And just not to talk over each other and things like that. But we're all Girl Scouts, so we kind of know the deal. All right. So is anybody wanting to unmute and do the Girl Scout promise and law with me? All right. On my honor, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout law. And the Girl Scout law is, I will do my best to be honest and fair, friendly and helpful, considerate and caring, courageous and strong, responsible for what I say and do, and to respect myself and others, respect authority, use resources wisely, make the world a better place, and be a sister to every single Girl Scout. Awesome. Well, let me just forward one thing here. All right, so what we are all here for is Vanessa. So Vanessa Silva is here from Culinary Artistas, and her involvement with food started with her in her grandma's kitchen in Brazil. She was making aioli and shaping gnocchi by hand. And from this early inspiration, she began a journey of food education and travel. And I can't wait to hear more about it. So she went and on to receive degree in food engineering from the University of Campinas and a master's in holistic nutrition from Hawthorne University. And she's worked in the food industry in the Czech Republic and Greece before she settled in San Francisco. And she's just got a wealth of knowledge and a wonderful journey for us to hear about. And so I am going to stop sharing my screen, and I will highlight Vanessa so everybody can see her.
Yay.
There we go.
Wow. Hi, Katie.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Vanessa.
Hello. Oh my goodness. Flexi girl, you are amazing and courageous. And I see your beautiful face. Thank you for showing that. I also want to say thank you to everybody that's here tonight and took the time, because I think thinking about your future and talking to people who do things they're good at and they love is an important thing. And the last thing I want to say is I love the Girl Scouts pledge. I'm not a Girl Scout, and I hadn't heard that before. And what a beautiful thing to pledge to. I already learned something here today. Okay, so I imagine you guys know how to use your reactions on Zoom. So if you know to use your reactions, would you use the reaction and give me a thumbs up? You know how to do, oh, Rebel knows how to do that. Thank you. And Leah and Pamatha and Penny and awesome. Thank you so much. And Holly and Ada. You guys, if I say your name incorrectly, please accept my apologies. One, I wasn't born here and I didn't grow up here. So there's a lot of things that I don't pronounce perfectly. And if I say something that is, oh my God, my name sounds so bad this way, feel free to interrupt me and say, Chef Vanessa, you should say my name in this way and tell me how to do it. Does it sound good? Can you guys give me a thumbs up? Amazing. All right. So thank you. So I love to start my talks to getting to know a little bit more the people that I'm talking to. And today, because we are only 12 people, I think we can do that. We can have everyone do a quick introduction of themselves. So let me tell you how I play this game, okay? I usually do that with grown-ups, not with kids. So let's do a test. I think you guys can do it. So this is called an icebreaker. And it's a little game, a little exercise. So I learn things about you and everybody learn about everybody. So the way this goes is I will ask, and maybe I'll start with Rebel. And I will ask, what's your favorite food? And don't say anything. Yes. Yeah, Rebel. I'll ask, what's your favorite food and how old you are? Okay, and then you're going to tell me that, and then we're going to popcorn this. What it means that after Rebel tells me that, she will pick someone else on the screen, and that person will then tell everybody, well, I said how old they are and their favorite food. Okay, I would love everybody to be thinking of the question already, because that way, when is your turn, when someone picks you, you already know that. So you're not like, let me think. Oh my goodness. Okay, Pamatha, is that how you say your name? I see you put in the chat. That's perfect. So if you don't want to unmute yourself and say that when someone picks you, you can put that in the chat. Does it sound good? So Rebel, would you unmute yourself? Maybe you can pronounce your name, because maybe I'm saying it really wrong, and tell me your how old you are and your favorite food. Or tell everybody. You're not just telling me, you're telling the whole group.
My name is Rebel Gishler, and I am 10 years old, and my favorite food is macaroni.
Macaroni. Any kind of macaroni or macaroni and cheese?
macaroni and cheese, but any type of noodle, really.
Oh, yeah, noodles are delicious. Thank you, Rebel. Like you see, I was already saying it so wrong. Who would you like to go next? Do you want to pick a name from the list?
Katie?
Okay, Katie.
All right, that's me. Boy,
Yay.
I am actually from Canada, and there is my favorite food in Canada is called a butter tart, and it is not a tart filled with butter like it sounds. It is sort of like pecan pie-ish, but it's a tart and it's small and it's very sweet and it is absolutely delicious. And I really, really wish that it would come into the American culture so that I could have them here because you can't find them anywhere in the US. You only find them in Canada.
Katie, you know, this sounds an opportunity to find that recipe and get working.
Yeah, I tried to bake them in Colorado, but it's very hard. I think the altitude affects the
Ooh, I believe you.
baking.
Yeah. Would you pick someone
Okay,
next?
I will popcorn to Genevieve and Joanna. You can put it in the chat or you can
Unmute and talk.
unmute yourself.
Do you want to pick someone else and we
Yep.
go back to Genevieve and Joanna
Sure.
when they're ready?
How about Holly?
Yeah.
So Holly, we want to know your favorite food, how old you are.
My favorite food is chicken fried steak,
Mm,
and I'm 9 years old.
beautiful. Do you like your chicken fried steak at home or do you eat that in a restaurant?
I mostly like at IHOP.
At home. So, oh, at IHOP. Oh, I've never been to IHOP. I have to try that. Okay, Holly, do you want to popcorn to someone else?
Can you choose?
Can I choose for you? Yeah, what about Shauli?
Yeah, that's
No, I haven't grabbed it. Sorry.
Hi, my name is Eden. It's not Shelly. That's kind of like my grandma's name because I'm on my grandma's iPad. But my name is Eden. My favorite food is pasta, and I'm 9 years old.
Beautiful. Thank you, Eden. Eden, who do you popcorn to?
We're in it right now. They're talking. You gotta listen, okay?
Clara and Alyssa.
Let me know
Oh,
if this is
Sarah
me,
and
okay?
Elisa. Okay.
Hi, that's us.
My favorite food is school lunch.
Oh, yum. And you can have it every day. That's so good. And how old are you, Claire or Elisa?
Clara.
Okay, and how old are you, Clara?
6.
6. Ah, wonderful. Thanks for being in here. I love it. I love 6-year-old.
And also, I'm in first grade.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Clara. Clara, do you mind if we invite Flexi Girl to tell us next? Is that okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Tierney, and I am 8.
Mhm.
And my favorite food, that's a hard one. Maybe like something that it depends on the day, probably.
Okay. Do you have give me 2 foods you like to eat? Like, not your favorite, but you kind of like makes you feel good.
I really like California rolls,
Ooh.
and I also really like chocolate.
Yeah. I would eat California rolls and chocolate every day if I could.
Yeah.
Do you want a popcorn to someone else, Flexi Girl? Or sorry, Timmy?
Yeah.
Yeah. To who?
How about Penny and Elise?
Thank you. Hi, Penny. Hi, Elise. Are you guys in a place you can talk? Or put it your favorite food and age in the chat? Elise is 10 and Penny is 10 too. Awesome. All right. Do you guys have a favorite food? They are thinking I can sense it. Oh, mango. Yum. You guys, in Brazil, where I come from, mangoes grow like there's mango trees all everywhere. So when it's mango season, you're walking down the street and there's all these mangoes that fall from the tree, and you just have to always carry a bag with you because you can bring mangoes home and have so many of them. My sister used to eat like 10 mangoes in a day. It was crazy. Awesome. Let's get one more person and then maybe we can do this a little bit more at the end. So Elise, do you want to pick, you want to popcorn to the last person for now? Maybe I would choose, since I have Ada's photo here. Ada, are you in a place you can share with us how old you are and what's your favorite food?
Yeah, Ada's here. She isn't in the mood to talk herself, but she says that she loves ice cream.
Ooh.
She is 6 years old.
Gorgeous. Thank you. And you know what? This is perfect, Ada. Thank you. If you don't want to participate and talk, that's really not a problem. So you guys, thank you for letting me know you a little bit. I know we didn't talk to everybody, but we will go back to you because I really wanted to go back to just like to start talking about bright futures and about a little bit about me and how I got to be a chef and how I got to have a really cool business. So again, my name is Vanessa. I am 51 years old. I identify as a woman, as a mom. I grew up in Brazil until I was 24 years old, and then I moved here. So by now I have spent more time here than I spent where I come from, and I love it. When I was a very shy kid, can anyone raise your hand or raise your reaction hand if you would say you are a little bit shy? Holly's a little shy. Yeah. Penny and Elise are a little shy. Yes, I was a lot of shy people. Interesting. Okay, so you guys might understand this. So I was of a shy kid, and sometimes I preferred to stay home with the grown-ups, with my mom or my aunties, than to go play and to go, to be with kids. It was kind of easy for me to be home. And when I was about 8 years old, that was the first time I really got to cook something. My mom was actually at the time she was sick, so she wasn't home, and I was with an auntie, and she let me do a whole recipe. And I got so many compliments, like everybody, my dad, my siblings, my auntie, everybody loved it so much. And that made me feel really good. You guys might relate to that. Sometimes like you do something really well and people compliment you, or you did it well and you feel really good, right? So that happened to me with cooking. So I went back and I wanted to cook all the time. And by the time my mom came back home, that was really special for me because I wanted to make something special to welcome her back. She had been away for a long time because she was sick, and made her so happy. And I think that moment in my life was really important because I knew I had this special power that I could make something and make someone else happy. I could make my mom happy, and that was the most important thing for me. But so that was something I used to do for fun, just on the weekends or after school, and not really like think about like work. Because at that time, when I was 8, 10, 12, you were in school, right? And you really kind of like, school is one of the most important things. And in school, I have always loved mathematics and science and chemistry. And it was kind of easy for me, it was like, so I felt like I maybe probably my work would be with like related to one of those things because it felt like the right thing to do. So as I got older, I kept cooking, but just on the side. And then I went to studied chemical and food engineering. And that is really like you study just the chemistry of the food, the molecules, all like the physics of all the reactions. And that was really interesting because that gave me a great insight, or I really understood everything about food. And I never stopped loving food. And as I got older and as I had jobs with engineering, with technology, with chemistry, there was a piece of my heart that I kind of wasn't filled. I felt that I really wanted to cook for people. I felt like I wanted to go back to that feeling of doing something and doing this service and making people happy. For me, cooking for people is very much about creating a space of happiness, a space of like just being together. Like, can you guys relate? Like, when someone like an adult is cooking at your house, or there's a big lunch, like there's all this activity in the kitchen and people are eating and talking and it's fun. Can you relate to that? So I really wanted that. So for a long time, I had like a job that I was in something else. And then anytime I could, I would go and work for free at a restaurant or in cooking classes. And that was something that I did just for the love of learning, and I never imagined that that would one day become my business or become my profession. And then very much later, I was already kind of old. I was already 40 years old when I had a daughter. I have a daughter. Her name is Billy. And at the time, Billy was 3 years old. And I wanted to have a job that I could bring Billy with me. I was like, I wanted to so much to be with this kid. So one year, someone said, why don't you do a cooking camp for kids at your house? Billy was in preschool, and they're like, parents need help. And maybe if you take the kids to your house and you cook with them and you teach them about food, I think they're going to be interested. So I was like, okay, let's give it a try. I said, well, I want to do this cooking camp with Billy's friends at my house. I asked the parents and they're like, we would love that. And that was about 10 years ago, you guys. And I started, like, the first cooking camp was 6 kids. Then it was 7 kids. Then it was 10 kids. And it was growing. And I totally started to have that feeling again that I had when I was a kid, like working with children and food. So it was really, really fun for me. And it was really, really fun to see that even like a 4-year-old can cook, a 5-year-old. And really, so as I realized that, I was like, okay, I don't want to do this office job I have anymore. I want to be cooking. I want to be in the kitchen. I want to be cooking with people. I want to help kids and adults to connect with food in a beautiful way, in a way that they understand. They know how to cook it. They know what's good for their body. They understand that there are certain foods that make us feel energetic and happy, and there are certain foods that make us feel so that's how I started my cooking school. And after 3 years of doing that, I was invited to open a really beautiful and big school. Oh, thank you, Holly. Now I see it. You love to bake brownies and cookies for your family. So you know that feeling, right? Yeah. So we are in 2023. So it was in 2016. So 7 years ago. I opened this beautiful cooking school, and then started working with kids. So the first year we had 25 kids that came to the school. Oh, and Penny and Elise like to bake cakes too. Amazing. Baking is so much fun, right? And baking, do you guys know that you can learn so much mathematics in baking? And so much chemistry. It's like you don't even imagine like how these things that we learn at school, they also really apply in cooking. It's really cool. So as I was saying, the first year we had 25 kids. And then, I said, we're on the 7th year. So by now, for example, this summer, we had 550 teenagers that came through our school to cook with us, and another 350 kids that were under 10 years old. So this summer alone, we cooked with almost 1,000 kids. And that makes me so extremely happy. Yeah, so that's a little bit about how I got here. I also wanted to talk about something, and I'm not gonna talk too much about this because you guys might be a little bit young still, but I think this is a really, really important thing to talk about. I think that for me, there's a word, and maybe someone can raise your hand if you know what that word means. Does anyone knows what success means? Do you want to give it a try of your thought of like what is success? Pamatha, do you want to tell us? I think you were the first one. You can unmute yourself. I'm ready for the first person that unmutes themselves and they want to tell me what they think that success. And then I'm going to talk about my favorite meals for sure. You succeed through life, or you are cool. Yeah, I think those are very good. Those are very good ideas. For me, I think success means being happy and feeling, hey, what is, I had a hello and that briefly went away. For me, I say that being successful in what you do with your work means you're happy with what you do. You're good at what you do, and you're doing good to the world, So, Holly, do you have something to say?
Personally, for me, I think success means like you're like getting the things that you need from doing that thing, but then also being happy with doing it.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel exactly the same way about it. So I will say that, and Penny and Elise think that too. So I feel like even before I started cooking, I actually had a very important job. I got paid really well for that job, but there was a part that was missing, which was I wasn't so happy about it. It wasn't something that, let me close this because there's a noise. It wasn't something that I felt proud of. I didn't love to say, oh, this is what I do. I did it because it felt it was the right thing to do. So one thing I wanted to talk before you go into food and a little bit more about like the fun stuff. One thing that I want to say, let me see if I can share my screen. Okay, here we go. Where is, did I, oh.
Hi, I have a question.
Yes, please. I'm ready for your.
So what?
What?
Hi, so I'm Jackie, I'm part 24604. What are some of your favorite meals that you make?
Okay, we're gonna get to that. So can you tell me your real name?
Jacqueline Parkman.
But you go by Jackie, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Jackie,
And Vanessa, sorry to interrupt you. We don't see anything that you're sharing. It says it's
oh,
started to
resume
screen share.
sharing. Okay, I will share now.
There we go. Yep.
Yeah, okay. So Jackie, can I tell you that in just a couple minutes? Because I wanted to tell you guys this, and then we're gonna get into the food, okay? So because we're talking about inspiring futures, and because you are all young, curious, dynamic girls, otherwise you wouldn't be in the Girl Scouts. I want to tell you what worked for me and how I got to a place in my life that I feel very happy, very fulfilled, and also I have a successful business. So the first thing, it starts with passion. So I think it's really important for us to find the things that we love, and for some people, and if you want to put on the chat some things you love, I would love to hear from you guys. I understand. So for some people, it's sports. For some people, it's cooking. For some people, it's drawing. For some people, maybe it's, what else would that be? It's biking. So that's important. I understand and really pay attention to all the things in your life that you have a passion. Because when we love something, we also work on that, right? We dedicate ourselves to that. We put in, we practice. So if I love volleyball, I go to volleyball practice. I learn the moves, I wake up early for the games. So finding that is really important. And then, but also there's another side to it, which is something that you have a talent for. And I know maybe we don't have too much time for me to hear from you guys what you think the talent is. But I think of talent as something that you are naturally good at. I think, and this is, you guys, this is my opinion. As you live life, you might disagree with me, but I think that all of us have some things that we are kind of like we already are naturally good at, and some things that we're not naturally good at. We have to work hard to become good. And I'm not saying that you cannot become good on something that you don't start so well, but you have to work a little harder, right? So for me, for example, I have a talent that is cooking. I always had that talent. But I have a passion about music, you guys. I tried so much to play music and be a musician. I took years and years and years of music classes, but unless I worked really hard, I wasn't good at it. So sometimes we can choose a career that is something we're not very naturally good at, but we need to know that we're going to have to work harder than something we already have a talent. So as you are now, as you are 7, 8, 10, 12, paying attention to the things that you love and to the things that are easy for you is a good thing to do. And then the third thing that I like to think is your purpose or your legacy. And with purpose, I mean, I believe we're all here in this life there is something that is like bigger than everyday life. Something that like some people come with the purpose of helping the animals. Some people come with the purpose of helping the earth. Some people come with the purpose of creating justice, right? I came with the purpose of teaching and really helping people have a beautiful relationship with the food, with their bodies, to feel good about their body and around food. So I found something that I wanted to. So the other way to think about your purpose maybe is your legacy. Let's say that, Holly takes a trip of 3 years trip and she disappears from school. Nobody, but what are people going to remember Holly for? I don't know, maybe because she was a good friend, maybe because she was a great soccer player, or maybe because she built the school food garden. So in that case, that's Holly's legacy, right? So that's something you want to be remembered for. So for me, when I'm thinking of creating the job of my dreams or the career of my dreams or what I'm going to do every day, I think of those three things. What is my passion that I want to dedicate myself to? What is my talent? What comes to me kind of easy, so I don't have to work so hard? And also, how do I want to be remembered? And for me, when all those things are together, that for me can really bring success or can really bring happiness. So this is the part of the talk that I talked about career. So I want to close that part with that, because now the rest of the time we can talk a little bit about food, and we can and I can answer your questions. Okay. So I actually had a question that I forgot who asked, and like, what is, poetry. I saw that Elise likes poetry. Writing, reading, poetry, literature, amazing. So I want to talk about what is my favorite dish to cook. You guys, this is gonna sound a little not very, maybe not, that's not what you expect me to say, but I like to cook the dish that is the favorite dish for the person that I'm cooking for. So for example, if I'm cooking for Katie, I will find out what she loves, if she likes stews or soups or pasta, and I'm going to try to create a dish that is kind of like what she loves, because having that, seeing the happiness in her face for eating something she loves makes me really happy. But if I'm cooking for myself, I really like noodles. I love all kinds of, I like Chinese noodles. I like Thai noodles. I like Italian pasta. I like mac and cheese. All kinds of noodles are delicious to me. So that's one of my favorite things. And
got a hand raised in the Zoom hand.
Oh, gorgeous. So Kitty, do you want to tell me look at all I'm looking at all the beautiful passions that we have: swim, science, cooking, baking, art, horseback riding, taking care of chickens. That's amazing. Coloring. Wow. There's a lot of things that can come from here. So let me see. I will start with Flexi Girl. You have a hand up, and then we will go all the hands up.
I have a question about what you did before cooking.
Oh, thank you. So as I told you, I studied chemical engineering. So after college, I went to work at an organic chemistry laboratory in the Czech Republic. So I went all the way to Europe to work there. Then I moved to the United States, and here I worked at a firm, because I'm a little older than you guys. So I worked at a firm that made websites. So I worked with a lot of companies that wanted a beautiful website. Okay, Holly, do you have another question? What classes should I take? Let me see. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I have a question for you. So basically, what would you say is what would you say you're best at making, at like desserts?
Oh, good question.
Food.
I am not best at making desserts, because you're going to be surprised, but desserts are not my favorite thing. What am I best at making? You guys, I have a cooking school. I have made thousands of recipes. So I think I'm good at a lot of things. I think my best is, I don't even know you guys know what it is, but I like to make braised meats. I like to make braises. Okay, let me tell you what a braise is. A braise is when you cook a piece of meat for a very, very, very long time with a lot of herbs and seasonings and in a broth. So when you open that pot, there's like that delicious smell, and the meat is really soft and kind of falling off the bone. And then I like to put that on top, like with some grain like quinoa or I don't know, sometimes rice, and then have like a really nice, crispy, fresh salad to go with it. Braised pork, yummy, yummy. What classes should I take to become a cook and a baker? That is a great question. And I'll answer the talkie. I do not wear a talkie when I work because I'm not in a commercial kitchen. I'm not in a restaurant. I'm in a classroom. So because all my students don't have a talkie, I also don't have. But if I have a big event, I'll wear one just because it's so much fun. And then what classes should I take to become a cook or a baker? So you guys, so there's two things I want to tell you. They're in the culinary world, which means like in the world of restaurants and food, there is something called there's a practice that are called estágio, which means an internship. So first, I would say, before you do any classes, maybe you can find, now the internet has so many recipes, or you can find a nice cookbook that is appropriate for your age, and you can start learning how to use the cookbook to make the recipes. As soon as you're a little older, what I did, instead of going to culinary school, I went and I did what's called a stage. And staging is a free internship that you do in a kitchen. So after you guys are probably like, you have to be a teenager, like 15, 17, you can go to your favorite restaurant in town. It's better if you go in the afternoon, and you call, maybe you want to call before, and you go there and you say, I want to do an estágio. I want to do an internship. And most times the chef will say, okay, come here tomorrow or at 5 p.m., so you go there. And then they will see how much you know, how good you are in the kitchen. And sometimes they will tell you to just peel garlic. You spend like a whole afternoon peeling garlic. And then when you get better, they give you new tasks. So you can totally learn to cook and bake by yourself. One, by cooking at home. Another one is to learn from other chefs, like to working for free. And that is a way, instead of like going to school. That's what I did. I also love, when I got older, what I do is like when I go to a new city, if I travel somewhere, if I'm there for a week, let's say I'm going to Italy, I'm going to Rome. So I will look up a restaurant in Rome that I would like, that I think has an interesting menu or has a cool chef. And I'll call in advance and I'll say, will you guys take me for an afternoon as an intern? A lot of times, for me now it's easier because I have more experience. A lot of times they will say yes. So you can travel and go work for a day or a week or how long you want in restaurants where you go. And that's an amazing way of learning.
Wow, that is amazing. And Clara has her hand up.
Hi, Clara.
Travel the world and cook.
Yeah.
Clara, you can ask the question.
Okay, so I'm going to cook next time.
How are we going? Oh, you know what, Clara? I thought I would do something really simple, and I wanted to demonstrate a very simple recipe that I think would be really fun. So if you guys are up for it, I wanted to teach you guys to make what I call apple donuts. And like, there is not really a donut, but it's like an apple slice that we decorate and we put a nut butter or a peanut butter. So I was thinking to leave that, like, we can have maybe another couple of minutes of questions, and then I can give you a little demonstration, because that only uses like a couple of ingredients. It is very healthy and it's something that is fun to make, and you guys can make it at home. Does it sound good?
Sound good?
Yes. Awesome. All right. Okay, let's do another 5 or a few minutes of questions, and then I can give you guys the demo. Holly, you have another question.
My question was, like, for the demonstration recipe, can you give us a recipe to write down so you can make it?
Yeah, I can. And like Katie, would that be okay if I sent that to you and then you shared with them later?
100%. Yep.
Okay, beautiful. But you guys, before we do that, I wanted to share with you because, working in a kitchen or not like working in a kitchen restaurant or even being home and helping the adults, there's some things that we need to pay attention to. So I have a short video that I call my tenets. And the tenets is like, there's 3 rules in my school that we try to follow. So I'm going to share that with you. And Genevieve and Johanna, at the moment, the only ingredients that I grow, and I was going to pick it up to show you, is some herbs. I grow my basil, my green onions, because the house I live in San Francisco does not have a garden, but I have grown my own ingredients before, and I love doing that. Oh, your dad is a head chef. Well, being the head chef is being the big boss. It's for sure. I'm the head chef at my school. Actually, I am no longer in my school now. I hired a head chef because I do a lot of the business side. I'm not in the kitchen so much, but I've, maybe you can tell your dad that I'm the executive chef. All right, let me show you guys the video because I want to get to that, and then I want to show you really quickly how to make the apple donuts. 1 second. Safari. Okay, let me here. Right. Can you see our kitchen tenants?
No, it still has the
Okay, let's see here.
that you started sharing. Maybe it's just taking its time coming through.
Okay. I see a resume share. Let me see. Let me stop, and I'm gonna share again. Here. Sure. Can you see it?
No, unfortunately.
Okay. Problem. We don't have to do that. That's absolutely no problem. I can share that too. But I think there's I will tell you that. So I have 3 tenets or three things that I ask all my chef students when they come into the kitchen. One is to keep so let me back up. I also think that those are very important for you when you're working at home with your grown-ups or you're helping and in someone's kitchen when you were learning how to do it. Okay, so those are, I feel like they're important rules and they're very simple. One is keep your body safe. So when you're in the kitchen, you want to act with a calm body. You want to pay attention to what you're doing. You want to have your attention on your task. You want to ask your grown-up if you can touch a sharp knife or you can touch a hot pot. Like, you have to be careful. So that's 1. Keep your body safe. Second is keep your mind open. Keeping your mind open means be open-minded about what you're going to cook, what you're going to taste, because takes out many repetitions of trying something before we know if we like that for real or not. Or maybe sometimes like a year ago, you didn't like sprouts and now you do. So keeping your mind open will give you a lot more to work with. And the last one I like to say is cleanliness is awesomeness. So you clean as you go. And cleaning is a big part of cooking. So we don't just do the fun part and then let a mess for the adults to clean up. We participate in like being clean is being awesome. Okay. So those were the things I wanted to tell you about the rules that I think are important. All right. So now let's do this cooking demonstration. All right. Let me see. Okay. You can see my hand. All right. All right, so for this very simple recipe, let me change for 1 second how it looks like the blur, because that way it doesn't matter. I'm just not seeing. Wait a second. Sorry, guys. I want to make sure that you can see the demonstrable Zoom
If you
reference.
click the little up arrow beside your start video,
Uh-huh.
it pulls up. You can click blur my background or not. So
Okay. That's not blur. Can you guys see? Can you guys see well?
yes.
Okay, beautiful. So again, apple donuts it's the shape of a donut. It's gonna have a topping, but it's just gonna be made out of apples. And this is a little snack that is fun to make, and you can be creative, and it's healthy and it's easy. So I start with an apple, okay? So for most of you, this part you're gonna ask your grown-up to help you. But if you are old enough and you have supervision, maybe you are gonna be working yourself. So first thing I wanted to show you how to hold a chef's knife. So this is the blade, this is the handle, and this part here that joins the blade and the handle is called the bolster. So you can say just to yourself, very quietly, bolster, okay? So what we do, the proper way is you pinch the bolster. So I'm holding the bolster with my index and my thumb, okay? And then the other fingers wrap around the handle. So now you see, like, I'm pinching the bolster here, and this knife is very stable in my hand. And then with the other hand, we like to say you make the bear claw. So doesn't matter if you're on the screen or not. I want you to make a bear claw. And usually I like to say here when I do it, it's like, Row. So just row. That's your little bear claw. Those little fingertips, they get tucked in. So you're not gonna cut them, okay? So one hand, I have the pinch hold. The one hand, I have the bear claw. And now I'm gonna cut some slices of apple. So. And I already washed this apple earlier, okay, you guys? So one apple can make kind of 2 ends and three nice donuts here. The next step, and if you have an apple corer, it's like something that you can dig the core out of the apple, you can use that. Otherwise, I just use a little knife and like I get some of the seeds out, okay? Like not a big deal. If you bite on a little seed, it's really not gonna hurt you. So I take a little bit that. All right, so now this would be the donut. And now I like to use either a nut butter or a seed butter to make the frosting. There's a lot of people are allergic to almonds or peanuts, and then in that case, they can use sunflower seed butter, okay? But at home today, I had this almond butter. So, and again, you can use whatever butter that you have at home. And this is a nice task for any age kid, okay? All of you in this call, from what I have seen, even the 6-year-olds can do this part. So here you're gonna very nicely, carefully put the frosting on your donut. There you go. And then, so I'm gonna make 2. This is gonna be a very nice snack here this afternoon. Okay, I like to make it kind of neat and like, it's nice when food looks good too. So there we go. Here is my 2 donuts. And then here, you guys, this is a very fun part now. So when you're making this, you're gonna ask your grown-up, or maybe you can do that yourself, and you're gonna look in your pantry, what kind of items you have to decorate your donuts with. So today I went really quick into my kitchen, into my pantry, and I found a little bit of this chocolate granola. I had some walnuts. I have some coconut. Oh, I found some sprinkles. I have some sour sprinkles and I have some chocolate sprinkles. I have a lot of things, right? Maybe you don't have all of that, but I'm sure you can find something to decorate. And like also you can use raisins or cranberries or other kinds of nuts. And now the next step is to decorate your donuts. So I like to spend a little bit of time doing this because that's for me, this is the creative part. And like, I like to make them pretty before I'm gonna eat them. So here I'm using some coconut, and then I'm gonna put a couple pieces of walnut. Then I'm gonna put a little bit of granola on the side and on the side. And then just because to make it fun and colorful, I'm putting some sprinkles right in the middle. All right, so this is my first donut. Then I have another one. So this one I'm gonna make a little bit different. I'm gonna put more granola around. And I'm gonna put some chocolate sprinkles. Like maybe a couple, like one, just a little bit of the colorful sprinkles. And then I'm gonna stick this coconut right here in the middle. There we go. So this is the very simple recipe I wanted to share with you guys. Doesn't need to go to the stove. You don't have to do a whole lot. This is really, really delicious and is also very healthy. So, what do you guys think?
That looked delicious. I have not had dinner yet. So I think I might, I don't have any apples at home right now, but I might have to go out and get one.
Katie, you can make that with pears. Maybe if you have a hard, I mean, that's not the season, but a hard persimmon.
Okay.
Right? It's really fun. And like, you guys, this is also really fun. Leah, you have a leaf growing on your face. That's crazy. And this is a really nice, fun thing to do if you have a play date, to make your own snack together. Okay.
That's
so
a great
here's
idea.
our little apple donuts. Yeah. I'm gonna eat right after we finish this. And I think we are almost time. I wanted to know if there's any pressing question or Katie, is there any question in the chat that I haven't answered?
No, I think you've gotten everything.
Tim, you got it. You're already on it. I love it. Beautiful.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Oh, look at that. You've got your apple right there.
There you go.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. This was so much fun. And girls, I will email out some recipes that Vanessa will suggest for, making these things, but they're so great to see. They're nice and simple and something that you could do with your friends when they're at your house or you're at their house. You can suggest, hey, what are we going to do? I don't know. Let's make a snack. Oh, you got a chef hat on, Rebel. Yeah. Look at that.
Rebel. So, and the last thing, Katie, a couple things. One is anybody in this call, if you have questions for me, anything, you can ask Katie to share my phone number, my email address, and I'm very happy to answer them. Okay. My screen sharing is not working. So otherwise I would put all of that information on the screen share. And then the last thing is we are in San Francisco. We have a really beautiful studio school. We do summer camps all summer long and holidays. So if you're ever coming through the city, if you want to come do a camp or just come visit, say, I'm a Girl Scout and friend of Chef Vanessa. I came to see the school. You'll always be welcome there. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Hopefully some people take you up on that. So again, this recording will be saved and put onto YouTube channel. And girls, if you want to, an email within the email that goes out to your parents, we've got lots of other different careers that are up on our YouTube channel, like Disney and SeaWorld and Cirque du Soleil and a pilot and IndyCar racing, female IndyCar racing team. So there's a whole bunch for you to look at and see other careers that you might be inspired with. But thank you so much. The world of cooking is just fascinating. So thank you so much. Girls, do you want to unmute and say a thank you?